Hey guys, so let's talk about the rugby news for this past week. But first, let's address the big elephant in the room. Yes, I moved everything and I changed everything. Everything is remodeled after my girlfriend made me do all of this. But anyway, all of that is done. The main topics for this weekend is the high earning players from the Wallabies are free to make moves in the transfer market next season so they can move over to Japan and England and all those places. The South African Rugby CEO Jurie Roux is expected to leave his position for World Rugby. Then Johnson is expected to join the Bulls. Dweba is going to France. Dan Carter, is he moving to the MLR, the Major League Rugby? And then Beaumont is talking about a revised Nations Championship. Just like Peugeot did last week to get some votes, Beaumont is also doing it now. Is this just another marketing strategy for them or just another political thing? Or is it going to be actual things happening? I wonder, all that type of stuff. If you want to see last week's news, the link is up here. First things first, it is the Rugby Australia news coming out where they are set to confirm their high earning Wallabies may leave the country next season on short term deals to get more money because they are getting some pay cuts in this year. Some of them are expected to get 65% pay cuts at the moment. So some of them can actually go next year and get better contracts on a short-term deal. It's believed to be only 6 players, and it just raises the question: how much does these 6 players actually earn if you compare them to the rest of the Australian group, or the group of Wallabies getting money? But hey, if it works for them, maybe they should consider doing it a little bit more. The players that they are suggesting, there's 4 that I could get. It was Hooper, Kuridrani, Tumua, and Haylett Petty. I don't know who the other 2 are, but they did say these guys can then be free to go to places like England and Japan up until the July test window in 2021. This leeway is only to guys that has been in the Wallaby setup for a while, that has long service in that jersey, not for up and coming stars like Tupou, Alan Alatoa, Pataya, and Naisarani. So is this something that the Australian teams might start doing more, like South Africa is doing? Most of our stars are overseas. It makes us get the opportunity for younger guys to get into the system as well, get them money, get them paid. All our big guys are getting big money overseas. Is this something Australian rugby might consider, having their money issues they are at the moment? But how is this gonna affect their Super Rugby sides? Their Super Rugby sides haven't been the best of late, well, for a while now. If their biggest stars do leave, is this gonna just affect them even more, or is the 6 guys not the worst guys to lose? I know Hooper is probably one of the biggest guys to lose for any side. Next up in the news, SA Rugby looks set to lose their CEO Jurie Roux, and he is going to leave at the end of the year. If speculation is right, he's going to join World Rugby as the CEO under Peugeot, if Peugeot does get the chairmanship and is elected on 10 May and announced on 12 May, if you wanted to know that. Both Roux and Peugeot have the same ideas when it comes to World Rugby, or the whole of the rugby world adopting a global calendar so everything correlates a little bit better, and then you can get better structures for competitions like a Club Rugby World Cup and the Nations Championship and that type of stuff. Roux has a win-win situation at the moment, actually, because if Fischer wins, he is surely going in. Vermont actually also wants him, the guy that has been in for the last 4 years. He wants him in as well. Him and Laporte wants him in the World Rugby setup as well. They are confident in him. I'm just not sure what position that, but it's a matter of time just for Roux when he goes to World Rugby. Then next news is Jake White is reportedly interested in getting Ashley Johnson back in South Africa and hopes to sign him to the Bulls. He's been at the Wasps since 2012 and he is a fan favorite. The 33-year-old Springbok, I think he played 3 caps if I'm not mistaken, but he is still very good. If you do watch that type of rugby, he is still very good. He will bring something to that back there. Hookers at the Bulls just haven't been that good. The hookers overall in South Africa haven't been that great, but hey, that's guys like Mbunambi who's been injured, Marks who was on his sabbatical in Japan, he is coming back. So guys like Johnson, he's just going to strengthen up the young guys if he comes back to teach them a little thing or two. White also wants to bring in some guys in his coaching setup. Russell Winter, who comes from the Stormers forwards coaches, he's an ex-Stormers coach. Then Joey Mangalo, who was the Lions defense coach with the Swys de Bruin era when Swys de Bruin was there, and he is now coaching at Wits. Another transfer move is Dweba is set to move to Bordeaux in France. I'm not happy about this one. I think I wanted him to move to some Super Rugby team because I wanted to see him more in the Currie Cup in the Pro 14. I felt like I wasn't seeing him enough, so I wanted to see him more. Now in France, I'm probably going to see him a little bit less. The 24-year-old will be a Springbok one day. He'll probably become a Springbok now if we do play this year, hopefully. But they have said his move to France won't impact his Springbok selection, hopefully for him. Otherwise, that will be a shot in the foot because he is very good and he will probably become a Springbok with all the guys leaving now and Mbunambi being injured at the moment. The second last bit of news is Daniel Carter. He might be joining Rugby United New York. Yes, he is still playing. I know that comment is coming. So he might be joining Major League Rugby, as a lot of All Blacks have already done, like Ma'anonu, and like big guys have already done. Bastero and big names are going over there. And I mean, no one wants to see the GOAT retire. The 38-year-old posted earlier this week on Instagram that his 2-year spell in Kobe is over and that he's thankful to the club, but he didn't give any indication of retiring. So is this just someone speculating a little bit, or the club just approaching him, or is this actually going to happen? We will see. The last bit of news is some more World Rugby campaigning with Pichot and Beaumont going up against each other the whole time. They are campaigning like crazy at the moment. Beaumont is saying a revised Nations Championship is on the card. So he says a unified approach to tackling the current situation and the current challenges can help the sport create a new international structure. The plans for a 2-tier Nations Championship working around the Rugby Championship and the Six Nations, featuring a promotion and relegation thing, was supported last year, but it didn't go through because of a lack of support at the end. He said there's more of a spirit of collaboration this year and at the moment in the world, and also like Pichot is mentioning a change in the calendar. Is this now just him campaigning a little bit more, seeing what Pichot is doing right and kind of doing the same thing, or is this something that could actually happen? Guys, let me know your comments for all this stuff down in the comments below. Do you think the Nation Championship is on the cards? Do you want to see guys like Ashley Johnson coming to the Bulls? What do you think about Dweba leaving the Cheetahs and going to France? That is quite sad news to me. I'll check you for the next one. Tell me what you think about my new background here. Cheers.